Alright, I'm going to show you how to put the mat and the backing together the right way. And so I have a lot of this prepared already, and we're going to move down so you're looking at what I'm doing, so my face is going to be out of it. So I have a backing that is 16 by 20 and a mat that is 16 by 20. And for our purposes, I have a little bit of transparent tape lining these two up so I can quickly flip this over. But when you do flip it over and glue it down, you want to make sure and have these corners aligned so this mat is covering the backing. You don't want that backing peeking out. The other thing I have is two pieces of mat board spacers. The purpose of those is so this mat board that I'm gluing to the backing is flush with it. So when I put the tape on, those two are level with each other. That will help this process at the top edge. So we've got a couple of pieces of spacers. Now, normally what you're going to want to do is glue the mat board or tape the mat board to the backing, let it dry for a couple of hours before you go to the next step of attaching the artwork to the backing. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to do both of these at the same time right now. You wouldn't want to do that normally because it's a little risky. I could easily get glue or water on my artwork. So you really want to attach the mat to the backing, let it dry so then you can work at applying the artwork to it. So the first thing I need to do is make sure that my mat is attached to the backing and that it's not going to fall off later. Do not use masking tape there. Again, do not use masking tape. What you really want to use is packaging tape, but this is the kind of packaging tape that you have to dip into water and let it drip off. So these are lined up. It's ready to tape these two together, and so I have a little bucket of water. You can run water over this. You don't want to sponge water on it because in doing that you're going to wipe glue off of it. Now, packaging tapes like this that you pre-moisten have various varying degrees of glue on them. Oh, by the way, you buy this and the tape we're going to use later in the main office. We cut those into small pieces so you can buy 10 cents worth, 20 cents, 25 cents worth, or whatever they are, just at cost as a convenience. So sometimes this tape doesn't really stick real well. So an extra step that I usually do, you don't have to do this, I will use either just white glue, Elmer's glue, or sometimes this tacky glue you can get at Walmart, and I will run a bead of glue along this surface and along this surface. Well, just like that, it's coming out, so let's go ahead and do that. Run that glue, and then I just wipe it right over to the edge. Now, this is never in contact with my artwork, but now I have a really good glue right there along that edge. And so my tape, I know my tape is going to stick. So now I'm going to just moisten the tape, and what I'm going to do is just run it through the water. A bowl of water works good. You can run it underwater in the sink, but you don't want to wash the glue off. Now simply apply that tape, and with some paper towels, wipe off the excess moisture. I typically rub it down pretty good, and then go ahead and flip this over and make sure everything is aligned. Once you know that that front is aligned so it is covering the backing, then what you'll do is put a clean piece of mat board on top of this, something to protect it, and put a bunch of books on this and let that dry. At least an hour. Wouldn't hurt to let it dry several hours, but you want those two to be attached. So you're going to have done that. Well, then the next step, once you've done that, is you can flip this open, and now you can align your artwork. Now, I've already aligned it, and I have pencil marks there just to speed up this process. and I'm even going to tape it down. You don't have to do that, but that I know that is now aligned. I can double check it, make sure it's aligned. Obviously that red tape is not going to show. I'm going to take that off. So I've got my mat aligned with my backing. It's taped down and dried, and now I have my artwork. But again, I don't want to use masking tape. I want to use linen tape. This is archival tape, and you can actually lick those if you want to, and you don't need to pre-moisten those. They're folded in half, so I have a bit of a hinge there, and I'm simply going to put that down on the backing with the fold up. So I put that down, the linen tape, and now I'm going to fold my artwork over, and I'm going to press it down. For right now, I'm going to leave that red tape there. Once this is dry, that red tape is going to come off. Well, I'm going to go ahead just for the demonstration, because I don't want to leave the impression that any masking tape stays on this. Now I have a tape that's permanent. When it dries, it's not going to come off. This is not archival tape. This is not archival backing. This is not archival mat board. So if I'm really serious about protecting my artwork, I'm going to invest in acid-free backing and acid-free mat board. So for our demonstration, those are not. But I've got the linen tape now, and this is hinged so it can float freely. The purpose for that is because this piece of paper is going to absorb moisture in the air at a different rate than the backing will, and if that is not hinged, the artwork's going to wrinkle. So you just tack it down with as small pieces of linen tape as you can. Put some weight on this and let it dry overnight. And now you have it properly matted and ready to hang. Well, how to hang it? I'm going to create another little demonstration, but you need some kind of device glued to the back of this that is exactly in the center, so you can put one nail in the wall and then just suspend it. Typically, I'll cut a little piece of mat board and put a triangular cut in the top of it, glue the bottom half down that's scored so that mat board bends. And I'll probably create another video for that. But that is how you hinge mat your artwork to the backing, and be sure to use tape that's going to stay on, and use acid-free tape on your artwork. Now, that's assuming you have acid-free paper the artwork is on. So that is how to attach the mat board to the backing.